It only appears after midnight in an abandoned tunnel that smells of rust, echoes like regret, and rewinds time for anyone who walks through it. Rain carved lines across the windshield as Marcus gripped the steering wheel, his eyes flicking between the road and the blinking fuel light. Midnight. Somewhere off Route 9, GPS had long given up. All he had was static on the radio and a shape in the fog. A tunnel, gaping like the mouth of a sleeping god, lay ahead. No signs, no warnings, just ivy-stained bricks and the smell of wet metal. Marcus didn't remember it on the map, but his car was dying. Shelter was shelter. As the headlights skimmed the tunnel walls, the air grew thick like breathing through velvet. He killed the engine, stepped out, and silence swallowed the rain. Even the forest had gone mute. He walked in. Echoes followed his footsteps, but also not. They staggered behind him in a rhythm that didn't quite match. Cold fingers of wind brushed his neck. He turned. Nothing. A single fluorescent bulb flickered somewhere deep within, buzzing, like a whisper trying to form words. Something hummed beneath the concrete. A pulse. Marcus checked his phone. 12:03 a.m. But the battery was inexplicably full. 100%. The lock screen flashed a message he hadn't seen in years. One new voicemail from Dad. He froze. His father had died in 2017. The message was dated 10 minutes ago. He pressed play. A crackle. Then the unmistakable rasp of his dad's voice. Marcus, don't go further. The past isn't what you remember. Heart pounding, Marcus walked deeper. The tunnel curved now. The floor felt warmer. Ahead, a flickering film played on the brick, sepia-toned and jittery. It was him, as a boy. Christmas morning, 1999. He touched the wall, and memory hit him like a car crash cinnamon, pine needles, his mom's laugh. But none of it was right. The camera panned to a dark corner of the room where a second Marcus stood, watching. The film burned out. Smoke curled. He kept walking, heart in his throat. Each step sounded slower, heavier as if time itself was thickening. Then, a door. Not old, not broken, painted blue with a brass handle. His childhood bedroom door. But that house had been demolished years ago. He opened it. Inside, his 8-year-old self sat on the floor, crying. The boy looked up. You left me here. Marcus couldn't move, couldn't speak. The child got up, walked to him, and passed right through him. Pain, searing, like his soul had been rewound. Visions spun. A birthday party, his first kiss, the accident. Time didn't move forward here, it played back on repeat. Re-edited. Rearranged. He stumbled out the door. The tunnel was longer now, wider, and behind him, the echo of a child's voice, "Don't leave again." Lights appeared overhead, illuminating Polaroids stapled to the walls. Hundreds, thousands, every single one of him. Moments both real and never lived. He saw himself in a wedding tux, never married, holding a child, he never had one, gripping a trophy, he'd never won anything. Which is the real you? A voice asked. A woman? Nobody, just a shadow, hovering, just out of reach. Or are you just edited memories? Marcus spun around. What is this place? The shadow moved with him. It's a rewind point. The mind tunnels time. You came here because you broke. No, Marcus said. I just got lost. The shadow laughed, low and gentle. Everyone who finds this tunnel is already lost. Suddenly, the air shimmered. A mirror stood before him, cracked in the center. His reflection blinked, then stepped out. Same face, but cleaner, younger, smiling. I'm who you could have been, the twin said. Come with me. Rewrite it. All of it. Start again. Behind them, the tunnel entrance crumbled. Marcus backed away. That's not real. The twin laughed. Neither is regret. And then he lunged. They collided, and Marcus fell. Through light, through water, through time. When he woke, he was lying in the grass outside the tunnel. Dawn. His phone. 6:03 a.m. No messages, no signal. But the battery still said 100%. His shoes were wet, mud on his hands, but no tunnel in sight. Back home, the picture frames were different. One showed a woman he didn't recognize. Another, him on a mountain he'd never climbed. He opened his laptop. His name on a manuscript cover, The Tunnel That Rewinds Time. He didn't remember writing it. He read the first page. It was exactly what had just happened, word for word. Then, at the bottom, a final line. The tunnel appears again tonight. He slammed the lid shut, heart racing, breathing hard. Somewhere in the distance, a foghorn moaned, and it wasn't near the coast. Marcus took a shower, hot, cleansing, but when he wiped the mirror, his reflection didn't follow his movements. It smiled after he'd stopped. Panicked, he backed away. The reflection raised a finger, wrote something backward on the glass. Midnight. He drove back to the tunnel site. Nothing but trees, no path, no clearing, but the tire tracks in the mud were fresh. His tracks. Then the humming began, faint, like a dial-up modem in another dimension. Behind a tree, a scrap of blue paint, tunnel blue. He touched it, his vision blurred. Thens now. He was suddenly inside his high school gym, 2005. Winter, formal, watching from the bleachers. Everyone looked younger. He saw his teenage self with Emily, laughing, then storming out. The moment he'd said too much, too honestly. He ran down the bleachers, trying to warn his younger self. But he passed through everything like mist. No one could hear him. Then the scene froze. A voice, every choice, a tunnel, every regret, a door. He turned, the shadow again. Why me? Marcus asked. Why show me this? The shadow replied. Because you still want to change something. He screamed. I just want to go back. Silence, then walk forward. The gym dissolved. He was in the tunnel again. Older, weathered, 7 mirrors now, each one showing a different version of himself. One in prison, one wealthy, one alone, one surrounded by family. The 5th was crying, the 6th smiling, content, the 7th blank. You can choose one, the shadow said, but you'll forget all others. Marcus stared at the 7th. What's the blank one? A life not yet imagined, not a rewind, a rewrite. Marcus stepped toward it, paused. If I choose this, do I lose who I am now? Yes, said the shadow, but you might become who you were meant to be. He took a breath, closed his eyes, and stepped through. Flash, thunder, silence. The sound of wind through grass. He opened his eyes. Daylight, somewhere vast. A small cabin, mountains, a dog barking. He looked down, a wedding ring. In the cabin window, a face, a woman, smiling. Marcus, you're going to be late for your first class. He blinked, looked around. A university logo on his satchel. He was a professor. Inside, books, his name on 3 of them. Subjects he didn't recall learning. Photos of trips he hadn't taken, but it all felt real. He felt peace. But then, a knock on the door. A student, wide-eyed. Professor, I found something weird hiking last night. An old tunnel. I think it moved. Marcus froze. Where was it? Up near Echo Ridge, but it's not there anymore. Of course it wasn't. He smiled gently. Some things come back when you're ready. The student asked, Come back? Marcus walked outside. The mountains shimmered. Somewhere deep in the trees, a pulse stirred. That night, he wrote in his journal, "Maybe the tunnel isn't about regret. Maybe it's about readiness." He never told anyone what he saw, but sometimes he would catch himself staring into reflections too long. Once, in the faculty lounge, he saw a child's face flash across a coffee pot's chrome surface. His face, age 8, crying. He whispered, "I didn't leave you. I rewrote you." The tunnel never appeared again. Not to him, but some nights he'd hear a buzz in the walls, a whisper, a choice. And when the wind blew just right, through autumn leaves and forgotten regrets, it sounded a lot like midnight again. Thank you for listening. If this story stayed with you, subscribe for more mysteries that whisper in the dark, and I'll see you in the next episode.